Hi everyone, Player Sam. Welcome to another inbox review. So today we're going to be looking inside the box at Tamiya's iconic 1/12 Caterham Super 7. This is just one of those kits I've always wanted for a long time. It was out a long time ago and then it got re-released recently. I did plan to buy one. I mentioned buying one on a live show and somebody very kindly and still bafflingly went out and bought me one as a present. Brian Wilmore bought me one and presented it to me at Telford. Thank you very much, Brian. Still never gave me a reason as to why he bought it me. He just smiled at me. It's a very, very generous gift, a very expensive kit, and I really am looking forward to building it. Now, I plan to build it in the new year. I've got a couple of builds to get out of the way, but I do plan to start it at the beginning of this new year coming. It looks epic. I've seen a few builds of it. I had a quick look in the box and it just blew me away. The quality of the kit looks phenomenal. There's a lot in there and it just looks great. It really does. Now the price of this thing varies from around £300 to £400 depending where you get it from. If you'd like one, myself and Lee can get them. They're going to be special order only because of the cost. But drop us a line, we'll get your price and we'll sort it out, see what we can do for you. There's a few different boxings. This is the newest one, I believe. There's a couple of different offerings of colours and wheel arches and what have you. But for me, this is my favourite one. I doubt I'll do it in green. I'll do a bit more of a modern colour. I'm thinking of like a metallic grey colour or a brighter red or something. I don't know yet. I've not fully decided. And I don't know if I'm going to leave it half bare aluminium and half painted. I really don't know yet. I shall have to see. Can't decide. It's a tough one to do, but it looks amazing, this kit. It really does. So let's delve into this box and have a look what we've got. Now I'm going to have to use my webcam. My webcam's mounted up higher over there. These new lights are not as high as the old ones. I can't get the camcorder as high as I used to. I'm looking into a different mount. So we're going to use the webcam for the first box opening to show you what's in there so I can get a full wide view. And then we'll go to the overhead better quality camera to look at all the parts. So there we go. Let's head over and let's have a look through this. Right, there we go then, there's the box. I've had to use my webcam up high where it's normally mounted to get all this in because I can't get the camcorder high enough. So we'll have a quick look through what's in the box, then we'll go to the proper overhead camcorder and have a closer look. So, like I said before, superb box art, absolutely beautiful looking car. It really is. Don't think I'll do mine in racing green. I think I'll think of a more modern colour for it, but great looking car. On the side of the box, if I can show you quickly, we can fit it all in. There's a couple of pictures of kind of it, where it's bodywork on, and then the chassis itself, all the aluminium plate on there, which is just absolutely beautiful. And then on the other side, we've got a beautiful shot of that BDR engine, which looks fantastic, and some exploded view of some of the parts as well, which again looks absolutely great. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That engine looks absolutely superb, and yeah, it's the heart of this machine. It looks amazing. It really, really does. Right, so let's open the box and have a look what we get inside. Everything's back to front to me, so please bear with me. So inside we get a big blister pack of all the aluminium parts. So they're in there. We've got the bonnet, the side plates, rear plate, exhaust cover, so on and so forth. Very, very nice. That's actually a box with parts in it, so we'll have a look at that in a second. We got another box there that's got all the chassis in it and what have you. Again, we'll have a look at that in a minute. We've got instructions, some of the bits and bobs in there, which we'll get to a little bit later on. Some plastic parts in there, so all the wheels, a lot of components and whatnot, the seats, interior parts and so on and so forth. We've got our seat belts, we've got a selection of Tamiya polishing abrasives, nice little touch. We've got our base for it, so it comes with its own stand slash base, as well as a name plaque and a cover for the base as well. So they're the contents of the box. I'm going to chuck everything on the floor, and what we'll do is we'll quickly go through these interior parts in the boxes, and have a look and see what we get. Now I've got a lot to get through, so I'm not going to go through every single part on its own, but I'll pick and choose bits to open as we go. So everything's well packaged, as you can see. In there we have our chassis, we have our engine block, all nicely packaged, this, and our clear lights. So the engine block, the chassis has a lot of sprue points to remove, as you can see. It's going to take quite a bit of work to do, but on the whole, it's pretty good. Not bad at all. It's certainly a feat of moulding, I'll give it that one, but there's a lot to remove, and everything to remove has a remove mark point on it. It's going to need a bit of cleanup, and once you get all those sprue points off, you're going to have to be really careful that you don't damage this, because it is going to weaken it somewhat. But it's a nice chassis. It gives you an indication of the size. The chassis itself is approximately 25 centimeters long, so this is going to be painted up in a gloss black. I assume in real life it would have been powder coated. And yeah, no problems there at all. Like I say, apart from a cleanup, which is going to be quite a bit, this is going to be a fairly straightforward part. Prime it and paint it in black. But I do like the box. The box has got little cutouts to hold the chassis in securely, which is a good little touch. Excellent. So put that to one side. We've got the engine. This is the BDR engine and transmission by the look of it. So again, crisply moulded. No problems there at all, as is the transmission. Not a lot of cleanup required, just a couple of sprue points. The moulding's all clean. There's no flash. It's stamped forward as well, which is a nice little touch. Very nice. Yeah, no problems there at all. And again, gives you a hint of the size of this. The engine is approximately 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters long. So a good size, so you've got some nice detailing to do there, and from the look of it out the box, the engine's going to look absolutely fantastic. It really does look good. And the rear lights, so we'll leave those in there, there's no point taking those out. So you've got the front spots, indicators, brake lights, so on and so forth. Typical Tamiya clear plastic quality, no problems there at all clear, no flash, no problems at all. So brilliant. So these little boxes are nice to keep it packaged well in the box as well. Whether I can get it all back in at a later date is a different thing. I'm just going to have a little bit of a move around. Give me one sec. There we are. So this is our box with a lot of the main parts in there. So these are all aluminium. It's very, very thin aluminium. I don't really want to open it, if I'm honest, because I'm not quite building this kit just yet, and I don't want to damage it. Now on the side is, I assume, I don't know, a really random list of Tamiya colours for no specific reason at all. So let's just have a look. I wonder if we can just get out one of these parts. I'll try and get out the bonnet slash hood cover. I'll have a little looky at that. Like I said, I don't want to take them all out because they run the risk of getting damaged. Oh, that's so nice. That is beautiful. So nice thin aluminium. The louver bonnet as well. Very, very nice. Now the predicament I've got with this kit is, do I paint it all or leave it half silver like the box art shows? And I don't know. This all going to need polishing up if so. But that's lovely. Those louvers are nice. Really nice quality. Nice and thin, not too thick. Just thick enough to do the parts of the hood. All down the sides, transmission tunnel, the main floor pan, they're all this aluminium. Very, very nice, and a really nice touch. So yeah, kind of would be a shame to cover all this up, but then I haven't totally decided on colour yet. So yeah, the aluminium looks really nice. Like I say, I'm not going to get it all out, but like I say, you've got some very nice parts in there. Got the exhaust cover, transmission tunnel, bulkheads, sides, absolutely beautiful. Really, really nice. Really nice. So I'm going to pop that in there. I am even going to put a little bit of tape on it right now to make sure it stays in there. Right, so in this box here we have a multitude of parts. We've got all the bodywork parts. I think we're probably best just going through it one at a time. There's a lot to get through. So there's not a lot of actual plastic bodywork. You've got the 2 front arches, 2 rear arches, and the nose cone. So there we go. A little bit, yeah, be careful there, damage, but it's not a problem. They're moulded onto the side, which is always a nice little touch, as you can see. Excuse the paint, I've not been stabbing people. Good paint stuff. Nose cone. Again, nice. A couple of seam lines to take care of on the side. Mould seams. But nothing too drastic. Just got your sprue locator points. And other than that, there's no problem there at all. Like I say, I'm not going with green, I'll pick my own colour. So that's something we'll look at a later date. And then we've got the side arches. So now the kit does come with different arches. I think we call them the cycle arches, are they, I think? Which are a bit like the rear ones, so it's like those on the front again. My kit has these larger ones. So we do have a bit of marking to the plastic, but a quick one over with a sander and a buffer will sort that out. And again, a little bit of mould seams here and there, but quick one over a sponge will remove those in a heartbeat. Awkwardly located sprue points, and where they've stretched, they've marked the plastic as well. So you need a little bit of clean up there. But other than that, no problem at all. Again, very nice plastic, typical Tamiya moulding, no problem whatsoever. I'm going to chuck these back in because they're already marked enough in places, some of them. I hate Tamiya bags, I hate Tamiya staples, I always complain about them. But at least they're packaged separately and are all chucked in one bag, which is always a good point. I'm going to try and keep these parts up here if I can. Right, next up we've got lots of die-cast parts. Again, I'm not going to get them out because I don't want them getting damaged, but it's die-cast exhaust. More exhaust, roll cage, and they are nice. Now, is the finish good enough to keep? On the roll cage? There's one way to find out, isn't there? I didn't really want to get it out, but I think we're going to have to. So, is that finish good enough to keep? It would have been if there wasn't a big mould seam across the top. That's borderline acceptable to keep as is. Ideally, it could do a run over. There's a seam line right up through the top there, which is a real shame. And an even bigger one down the inside part. I think that's going to need respraying, sadly. Just one of those things, but it's a nice die-cast part. Hopefully it'll fit in place. You could leave it should you wish. At the end of the day, it's your model, depends how you want to do it, but yeah, for me it needs a bit of a clean up, a reprime and a respray. I think it'll look better. I think it'll look more the par for it. You could colour it, you could do it your body panel colour as well should you wish, which might be an idea. Tighten the rest of the bodywork, but on the whole it looks alright. The exhausts, they're nicely done as well. We've got many, yeah, again, you've got seams, cast marks across the top. You can see it there through the plastic. So again, I'd take those back, give them a good clean and respray them. Yeah, all the parts do. So they're not, it's nice to get them in die cast, but they could have definitely been finished better before plating. Yeah, it's not that great. So yeah, I'd respray those. Definitely would respray. Right, what else have we got? Right, we've got carpet. So pre-cut carpet for the interior, which is a really nice touch. It actually looks pretty good as well. It's not too bad a texture. Actually looks pretty good, so another nice touch for the kit. We've got our tyres. And we've got a lot of little bags to get through. So I'm going to grab a single tyre. Take my finger off. So the tyres are marked Goodyear. Eagle NCT 5. 195/50 R15. So there we go. They're actually really nice. I can bring that up for you to have a look, or I'll bring it down. Might be easier. Sort of shake. Yeah, they're really nice. Everything's legible on there. Proper names on there as well. like that. The tread's good as well, there's no seams on there. Very cleanly moulded. Really nice. 5 of them, obviously, because there is a spare wheel on the back of this thing as well. But yeah, very nice tyres. Really cool. Right, so now we have lots of little bags. So I'm going to pick a larger one. So in here, we've got other parts made out of plastic. So these are quite thin and fragile parts. So in there we've got part of the steering mechanism, suspension, part of the frame as well, as you can see all around here. And again, parts, shocks, steering rack, so on and so forth. Not a lot to write home about. It's pretty cleanly moulded. There are seams on a lot of the parts, so you're going to have to run a sander over them, but that's part of the course of any kit really, to be honest. Like this, and yeah, no bother at all. Not a problem. A lot of this kit screws together, as you'll see by the multitude of screws in a bit. So everything's got holes in it for screws, and it's going to make assembly a little bit easy because you have to paint all this up before you assemble it. So it's going to make life a little bit easier. I know a few people complain about the screws. I quite like them. That's another aspect to the model. There's a lot of gluing, screwing, and painting as well. And it just makes life a little easier, I think, on the whole. Now another bag, and we've got, I'm not 100% sure what that is. And also whether we're going to go around that. Wow. Okay, so that looks like a rear suspension component. It's die-cast. It's been painted in black, and it's not too bad actually at all. It's almost got a powder-coated look to it. So I'm guessing that's part of the rear suspension. I think maybe it's a diff mount, I'm not sure. We'll know when we get to instructions, but no problems there. In here, we've got various little arms and connectors. Again, they're all made of metal, painted in semi-gloss and matte black as well. And again, they're suspension arms, they are. Very nice. Really nicely finished, those parts, actually. Again, there are seams in places. So again, you may benefit from sanding, respraying, so on and so forth. Same with this one. The added inclusion in this one is a very, very nice wheel brace. And yes, you do use that wheel brace for putting the wheels on. The nuts are to scale. And you use that for putting your wheels on and off, which is a pretty cool touch, I think anyway. Got more suspension arm components in there as well. And again, they're painted in a mixture of matte black and semi-gloss gloss black as well. And the last one as well. One nice big piece. Again, finished in a semi-gloss black. Sadly, all these parts do have seams on. If that doesn't bother you, you can leave them be. For me, I think I'd clean them all up. It would literally probably take a UMP sander, not even a file. I think a 240, 220 sanding stick or sponge would take care of those. But I think if you're going to build something of this cost and size, it's worth paying attention to. Just a little bit more. And yeah, just pay attention to it. Add a little bit more detail. But yeah, some nice parts in there. Very cool. I do love that wheel brace. I think it's a very nice little touch. It is a really cool little thing to add. Right, okay, so as you can see, lots and lots of little parts. We've got chrome parts in here. Now, sad to discover that part of the belt set is this plastic chrome. I was hoping it would have been photo etch, but it's not. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the blue belts. So I may replace them with the 112 Model Factory Hero set. Now, the parts of chrome, well, that isn't an issue at all. The chrome's not bad, to be fair. Problem is, where you cut them off, you're going to lose the chrome, and it's on show. So no matter what way you do this, these parts are going to need stripping and painting. It's just inevitable. Now, on things like this, pots and that for the engine, covers for the engine, it's not the end of the world, but for little parts like seatbelt harnesses, I don't understand the point in doing it. It's a bit silly, because it's on show. It's literally there in your face on the car. When you cut that locator point off there, it's going to be bare plastic. So you've got to touch it up, and if you're going to touch it up, you might as well respray it. So whilst the chrome on the whole isn't bad at all, that whole sprue will be stripped, cleaned up and repainted. Bit of a shame, but just the way it is. Right, we've got aluminium parts. I'm going to fly through these bits, so I was going to be here all day. So lots of thin aluminium bits and bobs there. They're all part of the bodywork, the chassis, so on and so forth. There's braces, cross members, all sorts of stuff in there. Lots and lots of stuff. In here we've got some what looks like double-sided tape. We've got masks there for the aluminium heat plates for the exhaust on the rear arches. That looks like double-sided tape in there. We've got our windscreen, which has got some protective plastic over it. I can guarantee it being Tamiya, it'll be flawless. And there is also something else in there, which I can't quite make out. Oh, go on then, we'll open it. Let's have a look. There is also, oh, some nice little mesh. And a bit of padding as well. There's our heat-proof material for the rear arches, and here's our screen, which I'm not going to take the plastic off, but I will guarantee it being Tamiya, it'll be crystal clear. So no bother there at all. I hate Tamiya staples. Right, in here we've got screws, so a whole bag of screws. This is part A. Lots and lots and lots of little screws. In this one we got part B. It's an RC parts bag, as you can see. Again, with lots and lots of little screws. In this bag, we've got hoses, braided hose, which is a nice touch, different size hoses, wire for the HT leads, and one of Tamiya's larger screwdrivers. If you've not got one of these, they're much better than these little ones, but it gives you both, which is good. One thing I have seen is the HT lead looked a bit overscale for my liking. I've got loads of different tubing and that, so I can always fix that should I need to. But on the whole, the rest of this stuff should be fine. The braided stuff's nice. Again, I've got braided hose should I need it. But yeah, not bad at all in there. Over here we have the front grille, really nice. Some clips in that for the chassis. Some more clips for the chassis. Part of the chassis, that's the flooring for in the chassis as well. Again, that nice thin aluminium, beautiful. Over here we've got our window surround. So I'm assuming it's a front and rear part, as you can see. It's another die-cast part, but it's in good shape, that one. Not die-cast aluminium. That's actually folded really well. I assume that's the back for it there. Really nice. Very nicely detailed. We've got another bag with absolutely lovely K&N filter covers. They are stamped K&N, which is really cool. We've got the other floor plates for the other side as well. Over here we've got suspension springs, as you can see. Not opening all these parts up because we will literally be there all day. There's a few other return springs there as well as a little gear. I'm not sure what that's for. We'll find out at a later date. We've got anti-roll bars and some sort of bar there. Don't know if that might be... don't know actually. I've no idea. But yeah, all metal again as well. No problem. And the last little bag in here is some more aluminium bodywork parts. These are going to be for the interior. There'll be bulkheads, so on and so forth. So a very nice little box of goodies. Ow, and that knife. I'm going to pop all these back in as good as I can, and I will sort them out later on. Let's put the bags in there so I know what's what. Some really nice parts there. Like I say, trying to get it all back in. Yeah, it's going to be fun and games, that's for sure. Right, we'll save the stand till last. Over here now we've got rims. Now, I forgot what wheels these are on the real car. Completely forgot. So we've got 2.5 sprues. Let's go grab one. So the 15-inch rims, as we already know. Wheels look good, no bother. All the tyre valves built in. You can always snip that off and put your own in. You can get them, and it'll probably be something I will do. I think I might even have some, to be honest. Just add a bit more detail, but yeah, nice wheels out of the box. Not bad. Like I say, there are 5 because you get a spare wheel for the back of the car too. We then got the belts. So in here we've got a couple of sheets of Tamiya's abrasive finishing papers, which I've never used before. So might be worth a look at. Nice little freebie. In there we've got the decals, which I'll open up. So we've got our decals in there. Very, very, very nice Caterham badge, and that is actually, I can stop that shaking, is an actual badge. It is actually 3D, and that is lovely. Go on, focus. That's a nice little badge. And then decals in there, the instrument decals, warning labels for different parts of the engine and what have you. Not much in there. And then the belts. So these are fabricy paper belts that sadly you've got to cut out. So I don't like the look of these. I've seen them built up. I don't like the look of it. I'm also not keen on the blue. So I think I'm going to replace them with a Model Factory Hero set I've seen. They're for Formula 1 car, but hey, it doesn't really matter. Unless I can find something else. But yeah, I'm not keen on this. You've got to cut that out as well. And when I've seen them built up, I just don't like them at all. It's nice to get them. I think the plastic for the harness part as well kind of lets it down a bit as well. They've been full photo etch. It might have been different, but I think I am going to replace them for sure. I think I'm going to go for red. A bit more of a striking colour as well. Right, plastic part. There's only 2 plastic sprues. Well, there's 3 in here. One's a rubber one. Out you get. There you go. So on here, I'm going to zoom out a bit. We've got lots and lots of parts. We've got the rocker cover stamped in Ford again. Very nice. All parts for the engine, fuel tank, gearbox, differential, carburetors, suspension components. Lots and lots of different parts on there. Really nicely moulded. No problems there at all. It's going to take a little bit of cleanup. I just scoot around all the parts and have a little look. Yeah, not a massive amount to look to. The differential is nice on the back. Leave the front cover off so you can fill it full of oil if you wish. I am of course joking. So yeah, no problems there. Fantastic. And where's the rubber one? Sorry, I nearly forgot something. There we go. So these are rubberized parts. So in there we've got gaiters for like steering mechanism, suspension, I assume. There's a rubberized tonneau cover as well. A nice touch. And another really nice touch, the auxiliary drive belts for the engine are all rubber, which is really, really cool. So be careful clean up of them, and you get the serpentine belts around the engine, and it does look absolutely fantastic. It really does look good. So another very, very cool touch. What else have we got? Right, last sprue. Right, so in here we've got a couple of parts hanging off. It was a shame. We've got the instrument panel there. Let me zoom right out. I am right out. There we go. We've got the instrument panel there. It's kind of textured as well, which is a nice little touch, as always. We've got the seats. Again, the seats are textured really nicely actually as well. I'll come and have a closer look in a minute. We've got horns there as well. The radiator. What other parts have we got? Window wipers, drive shaft, prop shaft, handbrake. There's some really nice little parts there. Very well moulded as well. Really nice. So you can see there the seat texture is really good. Very, very nice. Texture on the dashboard. Again, really cool. And no problems there at all. Really nicely moulded. Even down to the car horn air horns. We will play La Cucaracha. You never know. The battery there, car batteries there as well. Steering wheel. That's in sections as well. I haven't seen the other part of that. I bet it's on the chrome sprue. Ah, yes, I did see it before actually. It's aluminium. I saw it in a bag and wondered what it was. So yeah, no problems there at all. Absolutely fantastic. And that's it. All we're left now is the stand, which I will get out of the bag. So nice, solid plastic display stand. And then with that you get a nice name plaque to go on the front, and this weird textured sticky backed material for covering over the top, so it gives a little bit of texture and makes it a bit more interesting. So another nice little touch to get. Not bad at all. Fantastic. I need to make some room here. There's bits and bobs absolutely everywhere, so I'm going to switch some stuff around. As I say, with kits this size, they get everywhere. So we've got a monstrous instruction book to get through. A few of the bits and bobs in there. We've got a new lacquer paint guide. These lacquer paints are fantastic, well worth a look at. We've got the thingies for warnings, attaching the fenders. And you see multiple attaching points there, screw points. So pay attention to that. It's in step order as well. Partially attach all screws first, tighten to confirm and all fit. Well, yeah, that makes sense. You've got your display stand as well, how to do it. Cut it as shown, stick it on, and your badge. Nice little touch that, really is. And then we're on to our instruction book. So it's Caterham Super 7 BDR. As you can see, you've got your parts there on the back. It's going to take out quite a few pages. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of parts. But at least it labels them all for you as well. And I want to see that part I couldn't figure out before what it was. There it is. It is a D-Dion tube. Well, thanks. There it is. D-Dion tube. Yeah, everything else in English. That one, I have no idea what that is at all. I'm sure somebody in chat will know and let me know. But anyway, on the front we've got a picture of the kit itself and a few key points there which are really, really pretty. Is that a real car? It is. So we've got some reference pictures. It would have been nice, I know this kit's been re-released, it included one of their colourised versions of this that you get with the 132 aircraft. That would have been a nice touch, but there's plenty of reference out there. You can even buy the proper build manual. Not buy, you can download it for free. Build manual of the real car, which will probably help you build this and give you plenty of ideas. But yeah, there's a bit of info on the car there as well. Obviously these were originally Lotus Super 7s. And they were bought, well, I think Lotus 7s, sorry, not Super 7s. I think they were bought, was it late 70s? Can't remember now. But there you go, there's some info there if you want to read it. I'm not reading all that, there's a lot of it. Of course, got the Cosworth BDR engine in it. 1.7. 180 horsepower in a car this light. Crazy little thing. And I think you can basically shove any engine you want in this thing and create an absolute animal of a car. So there we go, we've got painting instructions, all in Japanese. Colour call outs are there as well, so you can have a look at those, you can call it out. It's calling out for British Green, TS9. I don't fancy doing that. Or you do TS8, red, black, blue or yellow. I've got some other funky colours there. I'm not going to go too mad. I'm thinking of a grey, silvery grey. That's my thought at the minute. So you've got base assembly, polishing the aluminium parts, painting them as well. What not to do, so don't spray your kettle. No idea what that's about. Or ovens. No idea what that means. And then painting it as well. So it's basic modelling skills. It should. Oh, there we go. There's the English part of it now. Sorry, my bad. Oh, it doesn't mention about not painting your ovens in the English bit. It's a shame. So yeah, just go through basic modelling. We start with the chassis. So it's a tubular chassis. As you see, there's your two aluminium parts that get screwed in place, and then the aluminium on the side. You're off to a good start straight away. Assembling the suspension components up. So it's a pretty complex build. It's not going to be an easy build, but it looks enjoyable. You are basically building a miniature car yourself, which is part of the fun. Most of the components, once they've been assembled, painted, and then screwed in place again, which I know a lot of people don't like. Oh, it's not modelling, but it is. You're still doing the modelling. The screws are another aspect of it, and it makes life easier because you can pre-assemble parts and then screw them in place, which is what I like about the bike kits. You're not just painting, moving paint, gluing, trying to paint things around things. You're assembling components and then assembling them to the car, and I do like this. I think it adds an extra aspect to the build. There's the steering rods, the brake discs. I've seen these built and they look great. They look really, really good. calipers there, the lot. It's just going to be such a fun build, it really is. Anti-roll bar for the front, attaching all the brake discs, so on and so forth, getting the rear diff built, as you can see there. Like I say, you can download builders logs of this. There's logs of people building the real car, so there's lots of reference pictures to go with. And don't forget, a lot of these, they are kit cars, so they are customized. You don't have to do it like this. You want to change things up, you can change colours, whatever you want to do. You know, the world's literally your oyster with this. Assembling the rear suspension, so it's a trailing arm, isn't it? I've got to Google D-Dion tube because I've never heard that before in my life. If my phone wasn't on charge, I'd have a quick look now. But yeah, it's the rear suspension arm. Okay, so everything's there. It builds up lovely. It really does look like it builds up well. Onto the rear suspension, getting the rear calipers on, arms and what have you. Now, I believe the suspension does actually work on this as well, which is pretty cool. Fuel tank. Would have liked to see the fuel tank aluminium as well. It would probably been a bit more difficult to join the seams and what have you, but I think it would have been a nice little touch. Screwing everything in place. So all the screws are labelled as well. They are literally true to scale screws. So if you're not sure, just put the screw to it and it'll tell you. Any other parts are there. Anything that isn't plastic, basically, you can figure it out. Tamiya's instructions are very good. Bulkhead, the filler cap. Very nice. Now, obviously, if you're going to paint the body, I think you're going to start painting these aluminium parts inside as well. I don't know if the real car's left bare aluminium inside. I'm not sure. Floor carpeting's there as well. It's all sectioned out and labelled where it goes. Obviously, around the transmission tunnel, the rear bulkhead. So the carpeting look great. I've seen it before. It does look very, very good. Got the oil tank. Again, it's one of those chrome parts. It's definitely going to need stripping, in my opinion. The battery gearbox, again a nice touch. I think that's that chrome part we had earlier. And onto the engine. So there's your coil. Distributor, not coil. So very nice there with the HT these guys. I think they're a little overscale myself, but we'll see when we come to do it. All the sizes are labelled there at the bottom. Again, true to scale. Put the hose up, cut it. Dead easy to use. If you built a Tamiya bike kit, this will all be pretty obvious. Assembling parts. The blue parts are parts that need gluing together, basically. So the alternator, Campbell pulleys, very nice. And then as you see, there's a serpentine belt going on. So they're very, very cool. I do like that touch. It's very good. Sumps going in and attaching the engine to the gearbox. All the ancillaries going on there. And then popping the engine in the car as well. It's going to be great fun, this build. Exhaust going on. Like I say, they are going to need refinishing. It's just one of those things, I think. If we chose to leave it, I don't think it'd be a problem at all. But for me, I'm going to spend all this time building this. I want it to look well. Rocker cover on the top as well. Screwed in place, as are the exhausts. And that lovely aluminium exhaust cover. Seats, seat back, screwed in place. Screwed into the car. And then we've got foot controls. So this is front part of the car now, upper frame. So even all the accelerator, brake, clutch pedal, all are individually attached. It's quite cool. Air horn, car horns there at the top. Let me bring it down a bit, you can't quite see. There we go. Very nice. Decals laid out, instrument panels on the dashboard are nice as well. All individual decals, all individual glass as well. So take your time on that one. That's going to look very good. I see it's the upper frame on top of the engine, I see. Gotcha. So again, very, very nice. Steering wheel assembly. Like I say, that little aluminium part was in the bag. I did wonder where it was. So again, a nice little touch. And as you can see, the car is really coming on here by step 32. Radiator. We've got a... an oil cooler on that one? I assume it is. Got a fan. Now, there's those springs there. Now, what are they? Oh, it's the bonnet strap. Oh, very cool. So the bonnet straps actually work. Oh, I like that. That's very good. There, those return springs we had earlier. They've got little hooks you attach to them. And apparently it's the bonnet strap holding the bonnet on. That's a nice little touch as well. I do like that. Very cool. As always, typical Tamiya instructions. Just uber clear, concise, right to the point. Everything's there for you. These are like industry standard instructions. They're fantastic. There's the HT leads going to spark plug covers on top of the engine from the distributor to the coil. Then we got a mount for our windscreen, anti-roll bars in. Didn't see that going. Where was that? My God, it was ages ago. Didn't see it. And double-sided tapes there as well. Not 100% sure what that's holding on, to be honest. But something is. Get the tonneau cover on the back as well. That rubberized one we had before. Seatbelt assembly. So yeah, we're going to replace those, I think. Definitely. I'm not too keen on those. I'll have to have a look around, but if not, Model Factory Hero set I can kind of piece together. That's what those brass bits are for. Those brass metal strips I had earlier for the K&N filters. Obviously, it's a carburetted car, so it's got individual air cleaners. That's what they're for. Again, they're going to look absolutely fantastic. They really are. Beautiful. Getting the carbs in place with the cleaner, they're going to look stunning. Such nice little details make it all it is. Getting the nose cone assembled with that lovely grille. Getting your headlights done, beautiful. Get the fenders on as per that separate amended sheet. There's those heat shields that need cutting out. We've got rear tail lights, getting the wheels attached. The hubs, as you can see, 4 little bolts, nuts for each one that you need to tighten up with your wheel brace, which is a nice little touch. I do like that. Getting the spur wheel on the boot lid. And the last page, we've got our... Let's have a look what we've got. Oh, okay. So you're saying to use double-sided tape to fit the windscreen. As you can see, the windscreen fits inside the aluminium part we had earlier, and then there's a part to fit on the rear. Very cool. Got rear view mirror and your headrest at the top as well to assemble. And then putting your bonnet in place. So pushes in at the front and then the hooks at the back catch. I love that. That's such a cool little touch. It really is. And that's it. There we go. All the parts gone through, looked at, no problem. So there we go. Quite a comprehensive kit. Let's go back to me and see what we think. Right then, there we go. Well, what do I think? It looks brilliant. It looks absolutely amazing. Some of the detail parts in there are fantastic. They're so well thought out. It just looks phenomenal. Couple of downsides. There's the silly die-cast parts need finishing. It's not the end of the world. Run over with a sander and repainting. Again, not the end of the world. Just silly little things that Tamiya could have done. But it's a 24-year-old kit, I believe, so it's knocking on a little bit. But silly little things like that would have been an improvement. Other than that, it looks great. I love the neat little touches like the engine cover clasps, the wheel brace for putting the wheels on, all the aluminium parts for the footwell, the bulkheads and so forth, even down to like the proper rubber auxiliary belts for the engine. Absolutely brilliant attention to detail, and those awesome little K&N filters. It just adds to the model. Like I say, it's as if you're building your own miniature version of the car. These are kit cars. You can buy them complete or you buy them in kit form. Lots of build logs online of people building these cars, time-lapse videos of full-size cars. You can download the free build instructions, basically, of the full build. I was reading a little bit last night. They have slightly more in-depth pictures and what have you. So lots of reference out there for the kit, so you can really go to town. Like I say, these are kit cars, so they are customized, so you can go to town on this. Really do what you want to it at the end of the day. If you can get the parts, you can. I know there was a detailed upset for it. It's no longer available anymore, which is a bit of a shame. But to be honest, I don't think it needs it. The only thing I'm going to change is the seat belts, and that's it. Maybe the body colour. That's it. It's a brilliant kit. So really looking forward to starting this one. I'm thinking New Year. I think it'll be my New Year build. It's not going to get done all at once. And no, I'm not video building it, for somebody asked me. It's going to be a kit to pick at, I think. Pick out, work on something else, keep the mojo going, but it just looks epic. It really does. Thank you very much, Brian. Honestly, you're a madman buying me that. I was blown away. And then I got given a Ferrari 12 scale by Chris as well as Telford, which again was like, wow, that's amazing. You people out there, you're mad. You really are. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. It's a beautiful car. I was going to buy it myself anyway, and Brian's just epic. Really is cool. Thank you, Brian. Cheers, buddy. I will build it in your honour. There we are. So yeah, looking forward to starting this. And yeah, there's a lot in that box. It's going to be an interesting build. Really am looking forward to that. So there we go. Thanks for watching today. As always, give us a sub, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment, even just saying hello. Say hello in the comments down below and I'll reply to you. Let me know what you think of the kit, let me know what you think of the review. And if you built the kit, let me know any bad points, good points, or whatever, things to look out for. Let me know. And suggestions on colour as well. Don't just shout out yellow. Give me a bit more feedback than that, like a specific colour or a link to a picture or something. But yeah, I'm looking for colours. I've got plenty there, but I am thinking, I've got a Ferrari Dino colour, which is a really nice titanium silvery colour that I'm thinking would look good. But it's whether to paint the whole car or just do the plastic part, leave all the aluminium bare. I don't know what to do. I'm torn, I really am. But we'll decide. I've got a few weeks, at least 2-3 weeks before I start it. So I'll have a good think. As always, check out the Scale Model Facebook page and forum. Check out the modelling hangout group for Off Air Hangouts. Come and join us. Come and have a laugh with us. Just need a webcam and a mic and a Google Plus account. Come join us off air. Do some modelling. We're all live at the bench page for our Friday night shows. Don't miss this Friday's show, the 21st, before Christmas. It's going to be a brilliant Christmas show. Check out umpretail.com. We sell all Tamiya stuff. A lot of the stuff I use in my builds is on there. And if you want one of these, hit us up, ask me in the comments, or send us a message on Facebook, and we'll get you a price on one of these should you want it. And check out my Paul ISM Facebook page, where when I'm building this, all the updates will go on, as well as ISM. All the videos go on there, a lot. Everything's on there as well. So there we go. So thanks for watching today. Bit of a long review, bit of a waffle, but there's a lot to get through. Hence why I sped through a lot of it. And there we are. So if I don't see you before Christmas, Merry Christmas. And I hope you enjoyed that review. So take care. Bye-bye.